Hello everyone, sorry I've not been around for the last month or so. I've had quite a lot on. I got a bit burned out by a project I was working on and I had to move a lot of stuff around, so I just sort of let everything slip a bit. Apologies to everyone who sent me a message either on here, on YouTube or on Twitter. I will get back to you when I've got a bit more time. Also, I have just got a new phone, so all my software for making edits and music, I haven't moved it over yet, so I won't be uploading anything like that anytime soon. However, I've got quite a few Railway Series items that I'm going to give a bit of a review to, because I know they're quite rare, so a lot of people don't actually have them in hand to have a look at. But just to let you know, I do have lots of edits planned, some music ideas that I've been like tossing around my head, and also I've started research on Duck and Toby and Oliver, as well as a few non-rail characters and a few not characters at all, shall we say. Anyway, onto the surprise packet. I picked this up off eBay about 10 years ago. It's in pretty good condition. As you can see, there's a few creases around the side, slightly faded, but it's designed to be like a sort of a case, a briefcase or a satchel that you'd probably take on a train. That's a handle at the top there. These are like metal clasps holding the strap in place with a luggage label. These are two clasps here, and this is obviously the flap to get into the bag, and then you've got another handle on the back. This, I think, is the first time that the Sodor rail symbol is used, which is like the British rail symbol, but with an S instead of the two arrows. 99p in, 90p in 1972 would be about £12.50. The Wiki lists it as being released in 1971. Everything I can see here looks like it's released in 1972. So open it up, and then on the inside cover there's a contents page. So you can see it's 24 pages long. This is roughly sort of A4 size down here, but squared off. And that's just on the inside cover. Folding this down, you get a view of some black and white engines. It also lists the books they've appeared in. Obviously, as this is set in 1972, Mavis and Tramway Engines has been released by this time. If you open these two flaps up, you see some more engines. So on this side we've got Duck and Oliver at the top and the small railway engines. On this side, Edward's branch line engines and the China Clay engines. The only additions, as well as the cutting to some areas that's happened to this book, is Boko, Bill and Toby have been coloured in. I'll also just show the back page. So the way this is set up is it was all glued down here, but they are designed to be removed. This is the back page. So you can see you've got the mainline engines at the bottom. At the top you've got all Scarlo engines and Cauldron Patrick for the Mountain Railway. Okay, so starting with these little inside cover bits, we've got Percy here and Thomas here. Thomas is above the different railway signals and what they mean. And this is a really interesting part, what the different head codes mean. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 engine silhouettes here, and the different meanings for the different head codes. So Class A is Express, so obviously that one has been given to Gordon. B is branch line passenger, which has been given to Thomas. C, perishable goods, that's Henry, I think with a flying kipper. D is Edward, that's been given fast freight, half train fitted with continuous brakes. E is James, medium freight. F is Donald or Douglas. H is Duck, through freight train ballast train. I think that's a little hint to the ballast trains he pulls in enterprising engines and small railway engines. K is Oliver, that's a pick up goods on a branch, so obviously he's a branch line engine. J is Mineral, Empty Wagon Train. I think this is Stepney. Reason being that he does, I think, take an empty train in Train Stops Play. And G is Percy, Light Engine. Obviously, he does run Light Engine in tramway engines. So if we open it up, I'm going to be moving it around now just so you can see everything that's involved. The first page is this quite recognisable, really lovely Edwards illustration of Gordon and Thomas. It's like a railway poster. Next page is the Tidmouth Grand Tour game. Now for this, the spinner and the 6 character pieces have all been cut out. It's made on quite thin but nice high quality card, and you can tell it's been really nicely printed, hence the price. But I'll just move over so you can see the instructions. Of this board, a lot of them, the little things that have happened, reference things in the books. Elephant in a Tunnel, Crash into Barbershop, for example. The only one I don't recognise is Bridge Washed Away. I don't think that ever happened in any of Wilbert's books. So I'll come back to this page because this has actually been damaged where the pieces have been cut out. I'll reassemble that in a minute. So these are the 2 puzzle pages. Sorry, James. So here we've got Toby and 2 trucks, as well as Henrietta and our first ever view of, I believe, Elsie there. And down below we've got Renius and Peter Sam. Renius has got the 5 main coaches. Peter Sam has got 3 open coaches and an extra one, as well as Cora, just the bottom there. So this puzzle page, actually it's quite similar above and below. What I'll do is I'll get some nice quality scans of these at some points. I think the most interesting thing here is you've got the TLB truck and the Soda China Clay truck. Those are quite familiar from the Railway series. Diesel is a new sort of private owner wagon though. Make a nuisance of yourself again, James. This next page is how to make working models of Scarlo and his friends. So what you need for this, I will show this page as well in a minute, and I will also get a scan of it at some point. I know I say that about a lot of things. What you're basically looking to do is get a what are these things called? Cotton spindle, and then making a sort of a wind-up tie. So here you've got a way to make a handle or duke, and here's Scarlo or Peter Sam or Duncan or Renius. And just over here on the instructions page, at the very bottom, you can see all of them lined up. There's no suggestion about how to make Rusty, but there's the whole page. Okay, so now we've got a page about how steam engines work. For this, I'll just let you pause on it and have a little read through. And over on this side, we've got a really nice demonstration about how a steam engine works. This engine is quite unusual looking. So it's a 440 tender engine, it looks like. Looks like it's got outside cylinders. It's got a dropped footplate, round cutout there, bell pair firebox. So it looks like it's a bit of James, a bit of Edward, a bit of Thomas. Just sort of a mismatch of engines there. The first railway engine in the world. This is very reminiscent of the sort of things you'd get in the first two annuals in 1979 and 1980. So as you can see, some of these have been pulled out from the binding, others haven't. I'm just going to try and leave it as intact as I can. And on the other side, we've got How to Drive James. The lookouts are the wrong shape, but never mind. So this is a reference to all the letters Reverend Awdry used to get about the mistakes the various illustrators made. So basically, it's how sharp your eyes, can you see the little problems in each of the drawings? Picture one they come through on the first coach. Yep, that's quite a famous one. Picture two, engine's Henry, but they think he looks like Gordon. Yep, because of the square buffers. This is where he's got that brass cap on his dome, on his funnel. Picture three, it's James who is wrong. That's kind of funny because obviously he does have the incorrect number of pony wheels. But there is also this pillar here, which is quite an obvious error. Also, you can see like the line it follows here, what it's supporting. There's no other support at the back, so that's a bit funny. Picture four, a mistake with the lamp or disc. So cool, that's not one of those. This is a funny little one. It's a way of making a sort of a Bill and Ben with faces that sort of change expression. So you've got like angry, glum, happy, cheeky, I guess. So now we've got a game from that Junction Game. Again, you can just have a little read through of that. Now this one that hasn't been cut out. So if you can see here, below all these dots, there's a photograph of a yard and all their different destinations and loads. And the next page is a description of Thomas's branch line. From memory, I think this is the first reference to the coffee pots. Just down here. And here is the illustration of Thomas's branch line. This is probably one of the best maps we've got. I can't from memory think if there are any mistakes on it. However, I don't think Daisy did meet the ball there. I think it was somewhere either side of Ellsbridge, but I will have to check on that. So a trip on the Caldyfell Mountain Railway. This is really interesting, and it seems to be based quite heavily on the travelogue, which was published by the Snowdon Mountain Railway around this time. It's quite an interesting description of the ascent up the mountain. This is really good, this page. This is sort of a bit trippy, to be honest. There are lots of things wrong with this image, and you've got to sort of try and find them all, but there are no definitive, I know it says answer there, but there are a few others that I think aren't listed, so just have a quick look through. But for example, this signal's way too high. This water tower is showing water from both ends. This should be over the line. There's like a steps up to one of these telegraph poles rather than the signal. That sign's around the wrong way. That's a sign for a theatre. James on the rails, but Percy isn't. Percy's labelled as Henry. His cab's on the wrong side. That says level, but it's going up. Behind this steam, the tree changed into another telegraph pole. They're in the wrong perspective. It's a bit like an Escher drawing sort of thing. This is sort of like a shed station sort of thing. You can see it doesn't quite match up on what lines it's on. These lines don't follow back properly. that station turns into tracks. It's quite cool. And now the next page has got a short section for various lines, quite a lot of which have been featured in the books, or at least their counterparts have. So Raven, Glass, Nextdale is obviously Small Railway. Talaclan Railway is the Skylow Railway. Festiniog Railway gave us Duke. Snowdon Mountain Railway is the Caldyfell Railway. Kalianworth will feature quite heavily in the annuals. Dart Valley Railway is one of the places where you can see Duck and Oliver. And obviously the Bluebell Railway down here where you've got Stepney. And then just pictures of each of them. That's the Talaclan, I think. That's Kalianworth, Bluebell and Ravenglass Nestdale. And on the back, this part is glued down, so I can't really take this part out, but I can give it a gentle fold there. There we go. There are all the answers if you wanted to have a look. So thinking about it in today's value, I don't think that about £12 or £13 is a bad price for all that. You get quite a lot of content in there. It's really nicely packaged. This is quite glossy paper, but the stuff inside is really nicely printed, coloured card. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview on what you can get in the surprise packet. It's just kind of nice, I think, sometimes to see it being moved around so you can get an idea of the size of it and the quality. Like I say, I am anticipating to get some more content out soon. It's just a case of getting back into the swing of things. I've got a new Railway series adaptation I've got in the works. I've got some I've got a list as long as my arm of the edits I want to do, and of course I've got lots and lots of music I'd like to make and lots of history and research videos I want to publish, but they do take quite a bit of time. But for now I'm just going to try and get this out, a few more of these, start getting back to people and get back into the swing of releasing content, try and do it every week. Okay, thanks for now. Cheers, bye.